I have so many items in my wardrobe that I just don't wear because they're too small. I'll squeeze into them and then I'm sitting down and it's hurting on my stomach, or they don't look right and I've got like a muffin top or something. So I want to learn how to extend those trousers so that I can actually wear them. I've done alterations for people in the past that have taken things from a bigger size to a smaller one when they've lost weight. But I want to learn how to do it the other way, especially because then I can wear my items again. And being a woman, throughout the month I get bloated and my size changes, so I want something comfortable to wear that I know is going to fit me and not going to hurt when I'm sitting down. So that's the plan for today, is to change these trousers into something that I can actually wear comfortably by adding an insert into the side. Hi, welcome back, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Zoe and I own a small business called Resewn Textiles. I do a range of videos on upcycling, alterations and repairs, just trying to be really sustainable and keeping the things that I already own rather than buying new items. So today is all about a pair of trousers that I found in a charity shop that I really want to wear, but they're just a bit too tight, maybe a bit too tight is an understatement. They need a lot adding to the waistband and the sides. You know, I bought them thinking this is the size I used to be, and I actually can't fit into them anymore. So these are the trousers. They're beautiful. They're such a gorgeous colour. It's just they're too small in the waist, but also the style of the leg it goes like to a kind of like a taper. They're kind of like a skinny leg, and I prefer a wide leg trouser. So I thought this would be perfect to try out something that I've seen online. I've seen loads of inspiration on TikTok, on Instagram, of people adding in panels to the sides of their trousers, like jeans or corduroys like this. And I really like the way they do that. They add like a funky pattern or something. And then usually I know it's not in the waist, it's usually just in the trouser leg to make it from skinny to wide leg. But mine, in this case, I also want to add extra width to the waist. So this is going to be a good experiment for me to figure out how to do that, what's involved, if it's possible. I'm sure it is, it's just something I've not done before. And I found this material that I've used once before for the bookmark that's on my shop, and I love it. It's such a nice, like autumny brown kind of colours, like a sepia kind of vibe. And I think that would go really well with these. So I hopefully have enough. I haven't checked the length, but I'm hoping it's long enough. Otherwise, I was thinking about doing like a patchwork style insert, but if I've got enough of this, I think it's easier to try as a first trial and error with one piece of fabric. I'm gonna see what I can do with this, and it was only £5 from a charity shop, this pair of trousers. So, you know, worst case, it doesn't work very well and I can keep the material to make something else out of, because I'm going to be cutting open the leg, I'm going to be cutting the waistband. So if it doesn't work, I can use the material for other projects. So my plan is to cut the side of the waistband, add a strip of, you know, this nice fabric into the side, but also add some elastic in there so that when I'm, you know, fluctuating throughout the month with being bloated or not, the trouser should hopefully fit throughout the month with the elastic, so, and not be too uncomfortable or need a belt or anything. So I'm gonna do that waistband first, and then I'm gonna split the side of the leg open all the way to the bottom, and then add that panel that starts thinner at the top and then gets gradually wider, sort of like a triangle, so then the trousers flare out at the end. So that's the vision. I'm hoping it turns out like I'm thinking in my head, but we'll find out. this took way longer than I was expecting. There was me thinking this would be a really easy job. It's gonna take me maybe a few hours in the afternoon, and here we are at nearly 10 p.m. I finally have trousers, but oh my god, it took like the whole day. I think because I've never done this before, there was that factor, and then I miscalculated so badly how much fabric I needed for the side of the trousers. I put everything together, I even overlocked everything, I was that confident, and then when I tried them on, I was like, these look way too baggy. And yeah, it was at that point where I thought, right, I'm gonna have to start again, and I had to undo all of one side. My partner helped me pin all the way down to see how much excess there was, and then at that point I'd drawn out how much needed to come out. It was a lot, like more than half had to come out. So I had to then cut that out and redo it, because I didn't want to have a seam down the side of the leg, because I didn't want that. I wanted a full pattern. So I had to redo the whole thing, and then bits ended up being the wrong length. Trying to do the waistband, the elastic I used to begin with, it wasn't strong enough. It was like quite flimsy elastic, so it wasn't keeping tight to my body, and so I had to get different elastic. Yeah, it was a lot, but I have trousers. I think if it was just the waistband that I was adjusting, it would be absolutely fine. I think if anybody did want their waistband taken out in a pair of trousers, fine. It's just, I think because I knew I was putting elastic in the sides, I went for a little bit more than I should have extra in the waist, which meant that it's quite a baggy difference. I don't know how well you can see that, but the elastic brings it in, so it's quite ruffled. And I think I prefer that flat. So I should have done it accurately to exactly how much I needed, but that's fine. And then the actual stripes down the side, I only added those because I thought it would look really cool. It would look like the things I've seen on social media, and I just don't really like the tapered leg look. So I am glad that I now have trousers that are more wide leg. I was a bit worried about the shape of them, especially when I had way too much material, but now that I've taken quite a bit out, it hopefully looks a bit more straight leg. It should anyway. I am wondering if I should have made it more of a triangle shape and had it more like a flare rather than a straight leg. But that's something that I can experiment with my other trousers that are also too small. So yes, at some point in the future, I'm probably going to go back and have another look and try different styles with the insert. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a breather from extending trousers for now. At least I learned a lot, right? I learned how to take out the waistband, which is a pretty simple thing to do, but the actual insert on the legs, I need to do a bit more practice with that, I think, first before I offer it to anybody. Nobody's asked me to extend that. It was just something that I thought looked cool, and to see how easy it would be. Turns out it's pretty hard. So yes, I would like to try more of that at some point in the future, but for now I'm going to go back to other priorities that I have and things that I enjoy a bit more, which is, you know, designing my own patterns and making my own things like bags. I've got a jumpsuit that I'm designing right now, so I'm going to go back to doing those things. But this was a really good learning opportunity, and I'm really glad I did it. Mostly because I'm glad to have learnt that for the future in case I want to do that, and then I have these learning experiences that I've noted down, and then I can say, okay, in the future when I do this, I need to make sure I measure everything 3 times at least, and make sure I consider the actual final shape of the trouser and how that would look with the amount that I'm adding. So yes, really good. These are just for me anyway. I'm glad I have some trousers I can actually wear now. These are definitely more of an autumn trouser because, you know, the browns and the sepia tones and everything, which we're in the wrong season. It's kind of like winter, nearly spring at the moment, but I love these colours, so I think I would wear them maybe any time of the year. But yes, I think lessons learned, and I have trousers I can wear, which is great because as I said, a lot of my trousers were too small for me, so that's excellent. And I'm not feeling uncomfortable sat down. They'll expand when I bloat. I measured it to like full bloating width when I decided how much extra I wanted. So yes, it's been an interesting day today. I really hope you enjoyed. I am sorry that I missed out filming some of it. I'm using my phone to film all my YouTube videos and it died. So I think it was after the whole, oh my God, I need to change the size of this, I didn't realise how much battery I had left and it died. So I thought, I just want to get on, I just want to finish and get this to a state that actually looks like a pair of trousers, left my phone to charge, and now I've come back. So when I practice this again in the future, I'll try and do more in depth as to everything that I did to make these trousers, so you can see more of the process if you'd like. Let me know if you'd like that. But yeah, this was just more of a thought experiment, and I think there were pros and cons to it. I'm now very tired and going to go to bed soon. Thank you for watching my almost disaster that I managed to save. I wish I'd been able to show you that like process of going from disaster to not. Yeah, at some point I might be able to get a new camera, we'll see. So yes, thank you for being here, thank you for watching. If you did make it to the end of this video, oh boy, what emoji should we use? Leave a whirlwind emoji in the comments, just because it's been one of those days where I thought I had a plan, it all went up on its end, and it's just felt like one of those days where everything just went wrong. And then I finally got a pair of trousers out of it. So yes, whirlwind emoji would be appreciated in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, my videos aren't always like this. My videos include upcycling projects that I do for people, where I make my own things from scratch using a pattern that I design. Also alterations for people and general behind the scenes vlogging. You know, this was more of a personal project, but I do other projects for any customers that I have as well. So if you want to see more of those videos, make sure you hit subscribe. My next video should be a custom upcycling project, so hopefully I see you in the next one.